Blair. Want to get married?
Yes! Ladies and gentlemen, Jesse and Emma Lerner!
I can't just fly off to Alaska.
Okay, I'll call you when I land.
Hello?
Mrs. Lerner, your husband was on a helicopter.
Luke, Phillipa, hello, good morning. How are you today? Genuinely, how are you both doing today?
Generally, I'm really well.
I'm doing great. I'm a little tired, but that's life.
That is legitimately life. I feel you, but I'm glad that you are both doing well. I've been a fan of you both separately, so I'm excited to talk to you both together. Let's get into it here. I wanna toss this out to both of you, whoever wants to take it first. I've been mulling on this. I've been thinking about it, and I can't reach a decision. If someone you love, like someone you have decided to spend the rest of your life with, goes missing for 4 years, comes back, is that a phone call? Is it a phone call to say, hey, babe, I'm alive? Is it like, should they see you on the news first? Is it just show up at your door? Like for you, what is the option here? Because I can't decide what it would be for me. So is it a phone call?
I think you should probably, make some attempt to contact the person before they see you on the news, or get sent a link in a message to a news article saying your husband's alive. So, in lieu of showing up, I think a phone call's the kind of the next worst, the least worst option.
Yeah, the phone call seems like, well, unless you felt like maybe you wanted to text somebody. But I just feel like if I were stranded on a desert island and I was longing for this person that I loved for years and hadn't heard their voice, I feel like the first thing I would want to do is just call them just to hear their voice, let alone be like, and by the way, I'm alive. Yeah,
by the way, I'm here. I'm good. I'll see you soon. Yeah. It was hard. It was a hard decision for me and I couldn't decide. So I'm glad. I like your logic. I like it a lot. Luke, let's talk about that desert island look though, because you get to be very grizzled for a little bit. I mean, was that did you actually grow that out? Was it kind of like hair and makeup? How did they do this for you?
That took a lot of skill and precision to grow that beard. I had to throw all my razor blades out and just concentrate really hard on not shaving for about 3 months. And it all came out really well. But it was really great because we got to film that kind of scene with me with the big beard kind of on day one.
Yeah.
So then at the end of the first day, I got to shave it off, and it was quite a freeing experience. It was quite strange to see my face for the first time in a while.
I'm imagining happy tears in the mirror. We're just thank you so much. I just want to see.
Kind of was like, who's that? Oh, that's me. Yeah, it was kind of a bit of a shock. I haven't seen him for a while.
I believe it. Well, Phillipa, I want to come to you on this because the thing that I love about this character is that there's a line that is said about her where you're two different people with each of these guys. I'm curious from an acting perspective, how do you approach Emma then? Do you approach her as kind of two different characters, one with Luke's character and one with Simu's? Or is she kind of one character fully fleshed out? How was it for you kind of crafting her?
I think my anchor, yes, there's two men in her life that she is trying to navigate this very difficult decision with. But my anchor in playing her as a character is that she is definitely one person, but in the middle of that is a very traumatic event that happens, which is the death or the disappearance of her husband. So in the sequence of shooting things, we'd be going from pre-Jesse or pre-Sam to post-Jesse coming back and, all of that stuff. And it was really just a great reminder of that, something as traumatic as that can really change you. It can really make you look at your life in a different way. It can make you have a different tempo in your life that might manifest as before you were really speedy, happy person. And then your tempo changes a little because you've become a little bit more perceptive or a little bit more laid back in how you approach things. So I was exploring a lot of that, but really that sort of moment, that trauma for Emma was how I was able to sort of jump from one version of herself to the other.
And the thing that was hard for me with this movie was just at separate times I was rooting for either one of them. Like that was it was an impossible decision to make because they're both great for her in a lot of ways. But honestly, there were moments that like I wasn't rooting for either of them either. You can't call finders keepers on a woman. You can't say your job was to wait when you thought I was dead. Like that's just, I'm sorry, Luke. It's not fair. So I'll put you on the spot, Phillipa. I know it's gonna be very hard to choose. I know you're not gonna want to, but who were you rooting for? Not as a character, just as yourself. You're reading the script and you're like, I think this might be the better man for her. Who was it?
Well, you can't turn back the clock, right? So I was rooting for her ability to choose Sam in this version that I was reading, but also to like have it still work, because now that she has been able to make this decision or tried to make this decision, no matter who she chooses, there is still going to be a lingering consequence of that, which is the whole trauma of this experience. Like she's going to have to hurt somebody no matter what. And that is going to color her relationship for the rest of her life. So yeah, it's a little bit like, yeah, who does she choose? I don't know. I really can't answer that question because ultimately, I think less about making a choice. It's about her acceptance of the choice that she made.
Okay, well then, Luke, I'll put it on to you. Even though you are a little bit biased, when you're reading the script as a male perspective, when you're reading it, who are you rooting for? Are you rooting for your own character? Are you rooting for Sam? Are you rooting for the same thing, just like her to be healthy and to be okay? What was it for you?
I think that's what's great about this story, this film, is that you're rooting for everyone, right? Mm-hmm. And you're rooting for them to find the best version of their life that's possible. You know, I think especially for Jesse's perspective, he wants to he's been given this second chance at life, right? And I think I was rooting for him to find the best possible life for himself. Emma, I wanted her to have the best possible life she could have. Sam as well. I think that's the great thing about this story and these characters. They're people that I think everyone can relate to and everyone kind of wants to hang around. So yeah, the fact that you're kind of wanting everyone to have the best life they could possibly have is one of the really amazing bits about this story. And one of the things that I hope in the end they do get that kind of life they deserve and the life that is best for them and to go on with the experiences that they've had and the experiences that are yet to come in their lives.
Absolutely. Well, I will leave you with this as we get to the end of my time here. Luke, I have always been curious just from a male perspective, what the draw is of a love triangle movie like a rom-com, because you've done a few of these at this point. So what is it for you that draws you to like a good love story as a man?
For me, it is, I think they're some of the best movies you can watch because they've got everything that you want in them, right? There's love, there's drama, there's comedy, there's a happy ending in certain ways. You know, for me, they're the films that when you can't decide what to watch is the ones you want to watch, right? I think You're never not in the mood for these kind of movies. And you know, my job as an actor is to, you know, try and entertain people and give them a couple hours off from their day or their week or their year or whatever it is. And so if I can, you know, help people switch off and go to another world that they want to exist in, then that's my job. And I think these movies just kind of hit all the right notes for people and in life. And they're the kind of, not every day do you want to watch something that's really intense, or not every day do you want to watch something that's really terrifying or that. So I think they just, you know, their job is to, and my job is to, you know, try and entertain people. And if people are entertained, then I've done my job and I'm happy.
You have done your job and exceedingly well at that. And Phillipa, you as well. Again, I'm fans of you both. That is my time. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me this morning. I really appreciate you both. Congrats on this film.